Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome to a new video of me, Fastball40. Today I'm going to be bringing you a chem style trading video. Now, I've done small chem style trading videos before. I haven't really gone into too much detail. At the moment, it's a really effective way to trade. So I told you yesterday, don't invest in SBC fodder during this FUTW'S promotion. I maintain that. Don't do it. Again, for different reasons today, I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't be doing it. Because if you'd have pre-invested for this SBCs, the SBCs that came out today, you'd have made a big loss. And the reason for it is, EA have actually made it remotely sort of affordable. Like an 84 with 2 team of the weeks for Inaki Williams is, I think, a very good deal. I think it's a very, very good SBC. But people are going to pre-invest in 86s, 87s. It isn't worth it. Edison Cavani is unbelievably good value. He's perfect for SBC fodder. He's cheaper than every 89 on the market at the moment. And he's actually quite a good card. But 2 team of the weeks on 83... Like, if you've got an 83 squad, you can stick to 2 of your FUT Champs players and you're laughing. I've got plenty on my main account that I can stick right in there. So for me, they're good. So if you're pre-investing, then you're in trouble because they're not really going to spike the market realistically. And even if they are, they're spiking the market at 83s and 84s. So I wouldn't pre-invest. But what you can do at the moment, and as it goes, as it works, is... it's one of my favourite ways to trade, but I'm going to show you the 3 different ways that you can do it. And that's low tier, mid-tier and upper tier, right? So chem style trading essentially is shadows, hunters and stuff like that. They cost about 12k. I think they're cheaper at the moment, but in around 10 to 15k at a time to buy. So what people tend to do is look for players they want to buy with that chem style already on them. Now there are specific players that are really good for doing this with, and what you want to do is you want to buy them with the chem style on cheaper than the chem style sells for. People don't realise a lot of the time. So if I'm selling one of the players that I'm going to show you now, which is Timo Werner, if I'm selling him, I might just sell him thinking, right, the market's telling me at the moment that he's selling for 4k, when actually with a Hunter chem style he's selling for 6k. So if you do my League SBC method and you get bored of that, it's another way you can do it. So I'll show you now with Werner. He's the first one I'm going to show you. This is the low tier in terms of a good guy to trade with. I think it's about 3 to 4k usually, but we'll have a look. 3, 2, so it's about 3,000 coins normally is what he costs, give or take, okay? We'll say 3,000. That's 3,009. Wrong way around. So 2,9. Right, so yeah, 3,000 coins is what he normally costs, right? What you want to do then is go and check what he costs with a hunter. And you go up. See, 3,9 he's not selling for, 4,9 he's not selling for, 5,9 is more... So you're in the realms of 5,7, 5,8. You want to add those to your transfer targets. You want to just see if they sell at that price. And if they sell, why are we talking about Twitch down, buddy? For reference, lads, I'm recording this live on Twitch, just so you know what we're talking about. Oh, fair enough. So essentially, you want to see if they sell at that price. So you want to keep an eye on it. Another guy that's really good to look at is Felipe Anderson. He's been a guy that I've gone all year. I've gone to as a guy that I like trading with. With a Hunter chem style on him at the moment, he is 6'7". Add transfer target, see what he sells for. Be mindful that the market will fluctuate, and the same way that the market goes up and down, it happens with the chem styles as well. His normal price is about, what's that, 5.9? Well, actually, to be fair, that Hunter might be quite cheap. That's Hunter. And you take the Hunter off. Ignore me, lads. To be fair, the Hunter's about what he costs anyway, so it's not too bad. 6'7". So that Hunter's probably a good one. I would probably normally buy that to pre-invest in, because he's about 6'7" anyway, 6'5". So, what's my chat? My chat's saying being weird. So go to Hunter. I just want to see quickly what he's selling for here. 7'2", 6'7". So that 6'7" and that 7'2" aren't necessarily bad buys because he's at about 7'3", 7'4" at the moment. He might climb in the market. The 6'7" could definitely sell. But you essentially want to see what they sell for there, on with those chem styles on them, and you want to buy them below that. So you want to see if they sell. If it sells to 6'7", you want to try and buy it maybe 6k. And trust me, they get listed all the time. It's a really, really good way to trade. And there's ways you can do it. You can obviously do your standard, like, sniping method here, where you sit there and just go down, basically. The other way that I like to do it, because it's not really much of a sniping filter as you need to be, you can just do... You go into a player that's got the hunter on them, and you just go compare price and back out, basically. As if one comes up, it'll come up there. And you haven't usually got to be that quick to pick one up. But I've seen using this method them go for, like, 4k and lower than that. So they're 2 good players to do with Hunter chem styles. Now, other ones you want to think about, meta players just in general, are players that are going to be good for this. So Musa Sissoko, I don't know what he's selling for at the moment. We'll have a little look. I don't think it's that much, but he's dropped off. 4.2 now. 3.4 is even cheaper than that. Look at that. Do you remember when this guy was like 50k? at the beginning of the game. So he's 3-2 for Soko, right? You want to look at him with Shadow. You can look at him Hunter on him. Even Catalyst can work, but I'm specific to the players and what chem styles I like to use them for. So if I go for Shadow now, he hasn't got one there for that. Hasn't got one there for that. So you see the difference that it can cost you with a Shadow card on him. So 9k with Shadow card on him because he's that meta. Put a Shadow card on him makes him ridiculous, right? Makes him absolutely ridiculous. So we get 9k there, for example, and you can just do the same thing again. Just compare price, see if one comes on the market, but just add a future transfer target. Just see what they do. And again, the plan is to buy them cheaper than they're on the market for at the moment, okay? So you just keep that in mind at all times. This is what you want to do. Another one that's quite good to do that with is Witzel. So we're getting towards the mid-tier ones now, right? Witzel's about that, but maybe slightly less with a Shadow. Mate, he's well less than without Shadow. What has happened to Witzel's price? Wow. We'll see what he's without Shadow. So without Shadow is like 9.5, 10k. There's one on the market at the moment with like 9.2, which is ridiculous. Let's have a little look. Shadow. So you can get them for 9.4 at the moment. Number one, that will go up, so it could be worth pre-investing in them. But 9.4, 9.5. So you know without doubt with Shadow he sells for about 9.4. If you get any cheaper than that, you can sell him. Witzel's probably a bad example at the moment because he's got so many Shadows on the market. Normally they'd be about 2 or 3k higher than that. But Witzel's a really good one. And then getting towards the higher tier now as well. So you want to look at players like your Dries Mertens. And I say higher tier. I'm not sitting there going they're ridiculously expensive, but just limit your risk as always. But you're sort of... These sort of players, you can't do it. And I know people try and do it on players... And they swear by doing it on players that are like 100, 200k. I don't bother. I don't think the profit's there to make it worth your while. But this Mertens is looking about 25, 27, yeah, 25k, right? With a Hawk on him there. Just look with him with a Hunter. Get an idea of it. And he's up about 20, I'd say on average about 27.5 here because these ones will sold relatively quickly. And again, I'll look at them and I'll add to transfer targets and I'll just see what they sell for. Now, when you get to the higher tier, remember the gap needs to be bigger. So find players that are actually got bigger gaps. Don't go for players that are sort of the gap between them is only a couple of k. So right now on him, the gap's only a couple of k. I wouldn't bother with Mertens. There are plenty of others like him, Insigne and whatnot. You want the gap to be about 4 or 5k because you need to be able to make a profit between what the cards are currently selling for without a chem style and what they're selling for with a chem style. So Mertens is a really, really good one. Informs can be really good with this, right? And now you've got to err on the side of caution with informs because the gaps on informs could be massive anyway. But for example, one that I've been using when I've done it is De Bruyne with a Hunter card on and De Bruyne with a Shadow card on. Now he has got special cards. I'm going to do like a minimum here because it can be a bit of a pain in the arse with him. Yo, Danny boy, thank you for the follow, much appreciated. Lads, this is what happens when you're called live on stream. So the Hunter card on him, his inform's about 320, I think. In and around that region, 312 even. So I'm going to add in transfer target, see what he sells for, right? And we'll take that off. And then we're just going to do a max of like 310 and see if we've got anything there. So there you go. So 304 is what you can get for. So there's a gap of about 10k with a Hunter Chem style on him. So if you can pick him up with a Shadow, I mean that Shadow is very, very cheap. Very, very cheap. If you can pick him up at maybe 290, 280 for that, you're picking up about 10k profit at a time, and it's feasible. Right now on stream, I'm not going to, in the space of 10 minutes, I'm going to show you, there's loads of them there that are going to be doing it, and you have to buy tons. But it happens all the time. If you sit there for 2 or 3 hours, the profit margins on this are much bigger than those on League SBCs if you hit a player. So if you hit a player that is, if someone listed a De Bruyne for 283, if you listed a De Bruyne for something that's 270, something in that region, you're going to gain about 20k by buying that player, whereas you might need to buy something in the region of 15 League SBC players for that. I still prefer the League SBC method, but it's something different that you can think, right, I can invest in these cards, invest in something different if I get bored of League SBCs. I never get bored of them. I think it's a good way of making coins, but it's a way you can make coins relatively easily without having to worry too much about the risk. As long as if you're not used to it, stick low tier. Go to low tier, think, okay, cool, what price are low tier ones selling for? So 4 of these guys have sold now. I'll have a little look, so actually they've expired, but 9k for him, 26k for the Hunter guy, and 6-7 for Philippe Henderson. So now I can go and look and go, okay, cool. If I see any Philippe Hendersons now for that price, I probably won't, but if we see one right now for one, let's have a little look. Anderson. With a Hunter card on him for less than that, then that could be a good opportunity for me to go and buy him because I know he sells at 6-7. And that also means that the other ones on the market are still there. The 7Ks and whatnot are probably still there. So if we go up to 8k now. those 7.5Ks are still there. So what I'm going to do now is add these to transfer targets as well. And just see if they sell. And then I can build it up. And once you've done that, get yourself a little chart. Anything you need, like a little chart like that. And just go, okay, cool. Anderson sells for this. Mark the date down. And then you know roughly what they sell for. As we just saw, the Sissoko sold for 9K. Let's just see if there's any on here. There may be, there may not be. I have about a list of about 100 players that I use this for, that I trade with. I only do it for an hour if I get bored of Chem style trading, so not Chem style trading, of League SPC trading, so I don't think you need to move away from that too much, but it can be really good. They start to creep down. I'd look at 8K. 8K, the same way I'd buy it for a League SPC player, I'll then go and buy it. So it is hit and miss. It comes down to what you want to be trading with. But I really like this method. It's a good way of it. V273 is a guy on Twitch. He's a Chem style king. Go and follow him. And obviously watch what he does, because he's so good at explaining it. But that's all he does. That's his main thing that he does, and he's very, very good at it. But for me, I prefer this. I prefer doing it on the lower tiers. Less risk. Always, and you know I don't like my risk. I like to just keep it chill. I'd rather spend more time making little amounts to build up to bigger amounts and try and make one big 100k sell in a night. So that for me is the better shout. But that's going to be the end of the video. Do not forget the 12 days of Fussmas start on Friday. 12 days of giveaways. Whatever you do, do not miss it. It's going to be amazing. At the moment, the prize pot stands at £60. Again, if this video hits 35 likes, we go for today. If this video hits 35 likes, then we will be adding £10 to the prize pot. So do not forget that. But yeah, if you did enjoy it, please do subscribe down below. Trying to hit 1,000 before Christmas. If we do that, there'll be a £50 gift card giveaway to do that as well. So I'm out for now, lads, though. Peace out. Speak to you soon.